Welcome to the Steve Reeve Podcast with the best moments from the past week and a few things that didn't make it to air. Thursday.
Science has discovered the greatest song to pair with chocolate. So what is it? What is the best song that makes that chocolate experience that much more enhanced? You know, I'm a little skeptical. And Galaxy Chocolate is the brand that commissioned this study. I told you it was a marketing ploy, didn't I? Of course it is. It always is. And of course, the bait of this marketing ploy was to make it sound like they had identified a song with science that would be the greatest pairing with chocolate, when really what they did is they just created a song called Sweetest Melody from Galaxy Chocolate UK. Sounds a little something like... You know, and when I hear this song, I don't necessarily think about chocolate immediately. I think that I'm walking through the bustling streets of New York with confidence in my step. They're gonna finally realize what I'm worth, and I'm gonna get that job working for a mean fashion design lady and her equally mean assistant. Not so much chocolate, you know?
It's time for Cruz Music News with Steve Reeve.
Richard Ashcroft of the Verve fame has, of course, joined Oasis for their Live 25 tour, but just before that historic that historic quest began, he also announced he was going to be putting out a new album called Loving You, and the first single has arrived. The album itself is going to be out just a little bit later on in the year. October 10th, I believe, is the day. And, of course, pre-orders already available. Another album that's going to be coming out in October is a new version of Bon Jovi's Forever, the Legendary Edition. This was actually released in June of last year, and John Bon Jovi himself was able to sing in the studio for the album, but they found out very quickly that due to medical issues with his vocal cord and procedures that he had to have underdone, that he wasn't able to go on tour to support this album. So now with the Ultimate Edition, Legendary Edition, he's actually tapped a bunch of incredible artists to join him. Bruce Springsteen, Robbie Williams, Avril Lavigne, a whole bunch of others, even some people from other bands like Def Leppard's Joe Elliott. That's available October 24th. Pre-orders are available now. And in a feature that really should have been there a long time ago, Apple Music is boasting a new trial that allows you to just import all of the musical selections, your favorites, your playlists, your everything, from different services. This is coming in the wake of a lot of people jumping off of Spotify because of A, the shuffle button not being a shuffle button whatsoever, and more importantly, B, the founder of Spotify recently funding the Helsing Corporation, a new AI military startup. People aren't really loving the idea of spending money on that while they're just trying to listen to tunes. And that is it for your music news this morning.
You're listening to the Steve Reeve Podcast from 100.5 Cruz FM.
There is good news for the Pickle-Lovers of Canada. I mean, all of the practicing pickle people presently pining for a perfect potent pickle party on their palate, and it comes from a particular palace of oil-poached poultry. I'll pass on the promotional particulars, but practice patience as I prioritize pressing play. For the pickle lovers out there, KFC Canada is introducing a pickle-forward menu featuring a new pickle-forward sandwich that has 2 different kinds of pickles on it. Loaded pickle fries, which are, you know, like your actual potato fries, but covered in all kinds of stuff, including, you guessed it, pickles, and even fried pickle chips. And I'm 100% serious when I say this, pickle Pepsi as well. That's a real thing. Honestly, deep fried pickle chips are a danger food for me. When I discovered that you can just make them yourself and that it's not even that hard to do, I had to distance myself from the knowledge, for that is too much power for one man to wield, I think.
Friday.
What's more intimate with your partner than getting intimate with your partner? A recent Reddit thread saw a few interesting answers, and we'll get into just a couple of them.
You can't postpone a birthday, Amy, but if you can't get a reservation, you can always go home and shampoo his hair.
Please stop always recommending that.
So this was the Reddit thread saw a ton of people giving their answers from across the internet, and one coming up right off of the bat, kind of an obvious, I think, putting furniture together. Throwing in on the IKEA instructions, certainly not for everyone. Likewise, talking about money and budgets. Some said being able to find comfortable silence together. I see you, Mia Wallace. Knowing just how they like their food and their coffee. It's as simple as being present and, having a thought or two in your head while you spend time together, or reading to each other, playing music together, taking care of each other in sickness, not just health. And speaking of sickness, it's not the kind of intimacy you hope for, I imagine, but it is certainly intimate, having food poisoning together in a single bathroom apartment. I have been there, and it is a miracle that you make it through, but you know that you're just going so strong afterwards. We are in the period of human history where we have to figure out if the idea of fooling around with a robot constitutes cheating or not. Obviously, if you've got a exclusive significant other. I think it's the deceit that is the most hurtful part of a cheating scenario. And really, where the term cheating even comes from, it's somebody's been tricked, somebody's been fooled. So first question in this bizarre thought experiment, are they lying about it? Are they hiding it? Is it a confident part of the toolbox, so to speak? No surprises for anyone. Also, now that the word clanker is catching on as a derogatory term for a robot, you just know that would get thrown around in an argument. You brought that clanker into our home with the adjustable parts? How long has this been going on behind my back? I mean, is little RVX 5500K even mine? It's confusing times,
Hey Alexa, play the Steve Reeve podcast.
System of a Down back together on stage. They're performing for the first time since May of this year, but they actually also performed a cover of Black Sabbath's Snowblind for the first time in 2 decades. They hadn't played it since 23 years ago. They actually originally had recorded the cover of that song for the soundtrack for the Osbournes back in 2001, a real blast from the past. Of course, they played it in honor, in tribute to Ozzy, who died just over a month ago. Hayley Williams has released her solo album. She had previously just released 17 songs as a surprise on her website, limited time only, limited access. Project was only called Ego. Now we know that the full album title is Ego Death at a Bachelor Party, and she's released all 18 songs of it, adding one more that nobody else had heard. That came out as of yesterday. And Josh Freese is talking once again about his exit from the Foo Fighters after taking over for Taylor Hawkins after his untimely passing. And he's got perfect I just got dumped energy about it, saying that it wasn't really the music that I really resonated with anyway. I didn't really want to be there. But understandably, he felt a lot of pressure trying to fill those shoes and trying to be that face and that part of the band for a person who is just so beloved by so many people in the industry and the fans as well. So, a tough situation to be in, but the attitude is definitely coming out strong in the wake of being let go from the band. That's it for your music news this morning. Former McDonald's chef who's spilling the Big Mac sauce secrets, something generally regarded as, like a closely kept corporate trade secret.
We need some more secret sauce. Put this mayonnaise in the sun.
Of course, that means that there is one ingredient that even this chef will not share, and says that people generally don't even have access to, which makes it really, really mysterious. But you can find the particulars of the recipe online. One thing that really kind of caught my eye was that there's no ketchup in it. He says an important piece of info: no ketchup. If it does show up in the recipe, you're getting duped by the dupe. But also, it's probably just going to taste great anyway. I don't know how you can go wrong with mixing all these things together. I'm hungry, but I'm also here with Maya, who has shadowed on the show in the past. I was just asking you, I'm like, do you even go for burgers? Is it like a fast food thing? Some people just completely avoid, and that's probably, I don't know, some wisdom there. Are you a Big Mac person? Are you even regular eater of Big Macs?
No.
No, just no.
I'm just a McDonald's. No. Happy Meal girl. Yeah.
Just straight to the Happy Meals each time. So what, like burger sauce, kind of mixture of like all kinds of different things. What would you think would be in there? Just for fun.
It's like what, a pinky sauce?
Yeah.
Beets?
It's hard to describe what the color of it would be. Beets? No. No, none of that.
Mayo?
Mayo for sure.
Okay.
I feel like every sauce is just a form of mayo.
If not ketchup, mustard?
Yeah. apparently like a specific kind of Dijon mustard.
Oh,
that you're
fancy
supposed
mustard.
to fancy mustard, I guess. I'm like, I've never thought that the Big Mac sauce was fancy in any way whatsoever. And then I guess there's all kinds of spices in there. Onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, white pepper, sugar, turmeric. Yeah, a lot of actual stuff.
Paprika and sugar?
Yeah. That's where the color's coming from.
No.
You lost me.
That just sounds like a wrong combo.
You lost me on it all. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll get into some music news up next here. But Secret, I think, is still safe with McDonald's for the Big Mac sauce.
Transmission over. Want more Steve? New podcast episodes happen every Friday, or just tune into the Steve Reeve Show. Weekday mornings starting at 5:30 a.m. on 100.5 Cruz FM.